How's it going, guys? It's Richie Unicorn Caller here, and I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. It's Monday. We got a lot to talk about. First off, just wanted to thank y'all for coming on the channel, especially the newcomers, all the console players. We got some news for you, and that is nothing. Yeah, there is no console. Unfortunately, there is no console news, and we already talked about this in the previous video. We already talked about the whole issue with Hall of Champions, which is in Krakatopia. And, you know, if you go in that area, apparently your game will just pretty much crash and you'll be stuck in the loading zone, like, pretty much infinite. So, yeah, we're waiting on a fix for that. But reminder that it did say it might take a week or two because it does have to pass the Xbox certification. And it's not just an Xbox thing. This is just a console thing because consoles are very, very, very specific on their updates and their policies and their certifications and all that stuff. Rather than with a PC, they can just do a maintenance period and just hotfix it like they always do. But for consoles, it's going to be different. So, yeah, if you're playing on the Xbox game preview, just, I guess, sit back, relax, sit tight, and keep your post notifications on the channel and also their Discord to see whenever they get the latest fix for that. So yeah, and apparently there's also people crashing even in the tutorial. So some people came and passed the tutorial. I also saw a comment, apparently somebody stuck in like the advanced combat tutorial, which we have already seen in the Wizard101 PC version a long time ago. So yeah, it seems like it's a very rough beta, but if you somehow manage to become level 20 and not get stuck in the infinite loading zone of Hall of Heroes, or Hall of Champions, whatever it's called. You know, if you didn't get stuck, you can quest in Grizzleheim and all that fun stuff. But for the moment, not really anybody can really progress in that game preview at the moment. So I'll keep you guys updated on anything for that. But yeah, right now, I don't know what's going on with that. So let's go on with the global news for Wizard101 and Wizard101 PC. Mainly the same thing as per usual, bunch of promotions here and there. But check this out. And I don't know if this is going to be a permanent thing or not. I mean, I think they honestly just kind of forgot about it. But we had this little extension for the paywall, or at least free-to-play promotion. And this had happened back in January 31st, or at least lasted till January 31st, 2025. But it still remains in place as of like May 2025. You basically go to Cyclops Lane, Firecat Alley, and the Oasis. But then after that, you would have to buy areas or have a membership and stuff like that. So if you still need to go to Krakatopia or, you know, some parts of Wizard City, make sure to check that out. Now, over here, pretty much like I said, same promotions. But remember that KingsIsle is teaming up with Stack Up to support veterans. So if you wanted to get your hands on this charity amount and also donate, make sure to check that out on the online cart. And then over here, today is the last day for this membership and crowns bundle. You basically get a 1 month of Wizard101 membership plus 2,850 crowns. So make sure to check that out. By the way, for any console players, when I'm reading these news, as of right now, this is only for PC only. Okay, the game is not released on console yet. I don't want anybody to like start buying all these crowns and then they can't use it on their Xbox or PlayStation or anything like that. Currently, there is only an Xbox game preview beta. PlayStation and Nintendo Switch is just currently sitting back, and we're just currently doing a lot of bug testing with the whole Xbox game preview thing. Right, so don't buy like a bunch of crowns like I saw somebody in the Discord and be like, I want a refund. They have stated it multiple times that PC Wizard101 and console Wizard101 is completely separate. There's no cross-save. There's no cross-play between PC and consoles. The only cross-play there is just with the consoles, each other. So, yeah, don't be going crazy over the crowns. Like, yeah, I'm going to buy a bunch of crowns. The only thing you can really buy is on... You can only buy crowns in the Xbox game beta. Like, that's pretty much it. But otherwise, there's no game client for, like, PlayStation and Nintendo Switch. And you can't, like, you can't go on the same exact account. Like, consoles have their each specific account. It's a whole thing. but don't go crazy with the crowns and stuff. I've already seen comments of people going crazy, like, no, stop spending money. Just wait till the official launch. Just wait till the official launch of the game, and then you can get everything situated. All right, just calm down, okay? But anyway, over here, Country Cottage Bundle is available. So if you wanted to get this bundle, we made a video about this bundle. I still gotta find that hidden dual space area. This is a really fantastic bundle. Make sure to check that out. Still kind of sad that they kind of scrapped the whole gear set bonus thing that we saw at Data Mind. I have a feeling that it just got scrapped, and it was probably something with the Maycast healing bug. So I don't know. It does suck that we won't see that, but it's still a beautiful bundle. So make sure to check that out. Over here, we got the Life School sale, which is going to last all the way through June 1st. Select school-themed items are up to 50% off in the Crown Shop. So, make sure to check out the Crown Shop if you want some goodies. Over here, we also got the Lively Bundles, which is also available through June 1st. Make sure to check this out as well. And then over here, remember that we got Melinda Wu's birthday bash, which is also going to last all the way through June 1st. She has a ton of stuff in the Crown Shop, so make sure to check that out. And then over here, remember that we talked about these new world elixirs for Polaris, Mirage, and Imperia. So make sure to check that out if you wanted to skip those worlds. Reminder that today is the last day for Beast Moon Hunt and Celestia, and also the Rate My Stitch event. And up next, it's going to be the Death Decathlon and also the Spiral Showcase. So make sure to check that out whenever it arrives. And of course, you already know, there's still no news about Ravenwood Academy, a Wizard101 story game. For anyone that's new to the channel, we cover this game a lot. It's basically a solo type of game, choice-based, pretty cool stuff. It's still in early development, but you can add it to your wish list on Steam and get the latest notification about whenever it becomes available. So make sure to check that out. Now, in the other Crown Shop, or at least in the in-game Crown Shop, there's also some other stuff they put in there as well, including some, I believe, the Celestian Spellmental Bundle, and I believe the Notorious Moon Pet has also returned. So make sure to check that out. For those of you new, the Notorious Moon Pet, this always comes out in the store frequently, constantly it comes out. Usually during a full moon. You can check the moon calendar. That's when they usually release it. So if you still need this pet, it's there. And like I said, they bring back the Celestian Spellmental Pack Bundle. You basically get 12 packs for the price of 10. So make sure to check that out. And all the other stuff that's available in the Crown Shop. And that, ladies and gentlemen, wraps it up for the news. That's pretty much it. Like I said, if you are on the Xbox game preview and, you're currently stuck in the whole Hall of Champions loading zone, or if you're in the Advanced Combat tutorial and you're stuck in there, or even if you can't even make it past the tutorial because it keeps crashing, like I said, you're just going to have to hang tight until KI and whoever else company they're working with, Microsoft or whatever else, you're going to have to wait until they dish out an update. Because right now, like I said, when it comes to consoles, they got to wait for a whole certificate, it's a whole process. And then once they get the green light for that, then they can, dish out a patch. And then hopefully that will resolve all the issues. And I understand it is a beta. I completely understand. But I'm going to be honest, I feel like, I don't know. It's just, does anybody else feel like this beta feels kind of, I don't know. I don't know if I'm being too negative. You guys can tell me in the comments if I'm being, too negative or mean. But, does anybody else feel like this beta is, rushed? I don't know. I play a lot of, betas in my day, like Call of Duty, Battlefield, FPS betas and all that stuff. But, I don't know. I feel like this beta just feels like it wasn't cooked. They cooked the beta a little bit. It's cool, playing on console. But I'm seeing all these bug reports. Obviously it's buggy. That's the whole point of a beta. But, I feel like the whole Hall of Champions thing and the infinite loading zone, and especially the whole tutorial crashing thing, if all that stuff is true, which I believe, y'all, if all that is happening, I feel like there definitely should have been at least some internal testing, at least making sure that, you can actually play the game. And this has been a problem, not just for, Wizard101 console. Perhaps we're being too harsh because, the beta just came out. But, this has also been kind of a problem with Wizard101 on the PC. You know, we've talked about a lot of bugs and glitches here and there. We talked about the importance of a QA team or just QA production or anything, you know, just some type of internal testing just to make sure that everything can function right. Because obviously people can't really bug report if they're stuck in a loop forever and ever, you know? And, you know, people can't really bug report if they can't get past the tutorial. So I think those are probably like the top two things that should definitely be looked at. And I think going forward for the beta, like if they ever have a break period for the beta, they should definitely quest on one of the dev accounts or just, I don't know, like I said, just, you know, a QA team just goes in, just like zoom through the world and just make sure that there's no more like infinite loading errors or just like any other crashes. I don't know. I just think it's kind of a bummer though. But you know, regardless though, remember that you still have that limited time free membership. I would imagine that they're probably going to keep that in, just to keep helping with the questing. And like I said, the beta is free. You do not have to spend money on the crowns. The crowns is completely optional. Now, obviously, your progress will be, you know, reset once the actual game launches. But your crowns will still stay. Like, you know, if you buy crowns, you'll still get to keep your crowns and stuff like that. I'm not sure about whatever purchases you make with the crowns will stay. I'm not sure about that. But we will see what happens in the future. I think I saw another comment saying that they saw that the tournaments, the PvP tournaments, were scheduled all the way to like late December. Now, I'm not taking that as like, you know, a release date or anything like that, because that might just be a placeholder schedule. But honestly, I really want them to take the time with this beta and just overall the launch of console, because this is a really big moment for KI and just like Wizard101 in general. I mean, you already have paywalls and microtransactions up the wazoo, and you know, you're already going to get a lot of flack for that. So you definitely need this launch. I mean, the last thing you need is for people to just be crashing, not just for Xbox, but also for PlayStation and Nintendo Switch and whatnot, right? And don't forget about PC players, all right? PC players have been playing this game, including me, for 16 years, keeping it up and running, funding it at this point, buying crown sales up the wazoo. So, yeah, we will see what happens. I just really want them to take their time with this, and, you know, hopefully there's no more crashes or errors. But we'll see what happens, and I will keep you guys updated on anything else that pops up. Reminder, you can check out their own official Discord and check out what other players are experiencing as well. So make sure to check that out. And until then, I will talk to you guys later. Peace out.